Hi guys, this is Wade from Wade's Orchids. How you doing? This was a request that someone made for me to do. So we don't really look like we have things set up here for orchids, but yes we do. What I'm going to talk about here is something that people are starting to do with a lot of success. This is not something that I personally do because I have a greenhouse with very high humidity and I frankly don't need to do it. But those of you who are in the home have a real need to provide humidity around the roots for Vandaceous orchids and other plants that may want to grow with a great deal of roots exposed. Maybe something like a Cattleya eclandii or something that is growing in a basket of some kind or whatever. But this is seeming I've seen this in action and I have talked to many other people about it. It seems to be a very, very good way to grow Vandaceous things. So what we're looking at here is some vases of differing sizes. This one is pretty small. This would be for a little 2 or 3 inch plant. This one also has a fairly small opening, but it's a lot bigger inside. This is the one that we're going to use today. Okay, these are called hurricane vases. And this is something entirely different, but something that will work very well. This is actually the bottom part of what they use to make sun tea or something like that. I think you can still get these in some places. One thing that's very nice about it is that if it has a little drain here, that you can use it if things get a little bit too full. But it will work very well, especially for, this has a fairly nice size hole in it. If you are dealing with things in 6 and 8 inch pots, it may be a challenge for you to find a vase big enough. I found that, you know, just looking around what I had here, I had to go through a few to find one that would work for what we're going to use here. So before we start, what I want to do is talk to you about the media that we're going to put in here. We have 2 different types of media here. This is basically a rounded, like river stones. They're mostly quartz, I think. But they are fairly rough, okay? In all instances, you want to wash this off very well before you use them, because I got these at Lowe's and there's a lot of dust and particles and that on these. Same way with this is black lava rock. Lava rock comes in black, red, brown, whatever you would like to use. You notice I am working with things that have a rough texture on the outside. Something else that will work very well is the, I think it's about it's not the small size aquarium gravel, but the next size up, the natural aquarium gravel, that is about 1/4 of an inch or so, that has not a polished texture, okay? That will work very well. The reason why we're talking about things with a rough texture is I'm going to put some of these in here, okay, and And I'm going to just lay this down in order to do it. Sorry for the noise. Might have been better if I had some newspaper or something, but we're going to put a few inches worth in here. Okay. There we go. Hope I have enough. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, what we're going to do, here, I'll hold this up so you can get a good view of it. Okay. We want things that are aesthetically pleasing, but still we are focused first and foremost on functional, which is a rough edge. Now, what we will do with this is we will put some water in here, but if you look, you will see I have a little bit too much. Let me pour a little bit out. There we go. Okay. The water level should always be below the top of the gravel. What we want to do here is we want to use the rough texture of the surface of the gravel or whatever you use, lava rock, whatever. Oh, I want to add that Leica beads, those little round clay beads, they will also work very good in here. So we want these rocks or whatever media you use to act as a wick to pull up moisture and help evaporate it and give us a large amount of surface area. Okay? Now, what we do next is we get our subject. Right here is what I'm going to use to show you. And I'm going to go off camera. This is Darwinera charm crossed with Ascocentrum christensonianum. Very beautiful thing. It's growing in a nice little basket here. And I'm going to go off camera and wet the roots a little bit here. And that way it will make them a little more pliable. There we go. Okay, so we've wetted the roots. And for your purposes, since you're going to be hanging it, you probably, if it is on a hanger, you might want to take that off. But what we're going to do here now is we're just going to work these in to the vase. Just like so. And that is pretty much it. You see the roots go down to the gravel, and that's another reason why we want to keep the water level below the top of the gravel, because we don't want the roots to be sitting in water. Now, you still need to provide good light for this. Okay, enough to cast a distinct shadow. And you will want to mist this very often and probably water it, take it out and water it every few days. Okay, what this is going to do is provide a lot of humidity to the roots here. Okay, when you water this, make sure you take it out to water. I'd recommend a very dilute fertilizer with every watering. Vandas like a constant dilute fertilizer. Okay, and you do not want to just dunk it in, because if you have fertilizer water in here, you will get an algae accumulation very, very quickly. This is the only problem with this. If you do get an algae accumulation, it's fairly easy. I could get my hand in there to scrub it out. but you can just put a little bit of vase in there if you need it to help scrub it out. Usually just a little soap and water will do it. And then it'll be clean again. Vase solution with the rocks, just putting them in a bowl and put vase solution on, or Clorox, 10% Clorox will work. We'll get all of the algae off of the rocks, okay? This works really well. The only thing is, if you use Clorox or even if you use vase, I recommend that you rinse the rocks out very, very well. Okay? So this is pretty much what we do here with using a hurricane vase to help us grow Vandaceous plants. And I think this is kind of nice looking. I like this. If I was growing in the home, I would certainly use it. Make sure that you keep water in here. Don't ever let it get dry. So if anyone has any questions, please let me know about this. Let me know, send me photos of if you're using it, or if you do use it for a while, send me some photos of your successes or failures. You know, but this is something that's fairly new that a lot of the commercial growers are trying to teach you people in the home how to do this so you can have some success with Vandaceous plants. So I hope you like this. This is Wade from Wade's Orchids. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.